Hi, I'm Kenny Smith, and welcome back to KennySmithGuitar.com. And we have a good friend with us here today, Mark Demaray, and I'm truly in guitar heaven today, and we are going to be talking about some old Washburns. And I first met Mark. I had the Fretboard Journal, and they did an article about two guitars that Mark owned. This was one of them that was in the article, and they were consecutive serial number Washburns, and you rarely ever see anything written about the old Washburn dreads and stuff, and I love them. The first one I played, I think Dan Lashbrook owned, and he let me borrow that guitar, and I actually recorded. Me and Tim Stafford did a version of Angeline Baker on the one of the AccuTab sessions, and I used that guitar on that. But I've been a big fan of the Washburns. But welcome, Mark, and thanks for going to teach us a little bit about some of the Washburn history and how he got involved with collecting the Washburns and stuff.
Yeah, thanks, Kenny. They're fun ones. The one Kenny has here, I got way back in the 70s. I couldn't afford a Martin, and I found a guy that had this thing, and I'd always read in some of the old magazines and stuff that Gibson, Martin, and Washburn were the three best brands from the old days in the 30s. So I picked this one up, and I've had that one for probably near on 50 years at this point. I think.
Wow.
It's been in the family quite a while. I played at a number of weddings and funerals and stuff, so it's kind of in the family.
Wow.
But it's a rosewood sides and back, red spruce, or what they call eastern spruce top in that, and it has the kind of trademark smile bridge for the Washburn style of bridge. This was really the Washburn's answer to the D28. Again, ebony fretboard and bridge, and they had a guy doing all the pearl inlays for the insignia up here that's inlaid in pearl. A pretty interesting story. A guy that worked for the Regal factory for a number of years. In the Depression, they laid him off, so he rented a little apartment and set up a studio in his back room and started cutting pearl inlays for virtually all the guitar manufacturers around the area, certainly in the Chicago area. So many of them are made by a guy named Joe Fetta Place. It's a pretty good story. But this one, it's got the herringbone trim around the sound hole that was typical from the 30s. And again, we think mostly Indian or perhaps Amazon rosewood from those days. Most of the Chicago area builders, Kay, Regal, even Gibson didn't use that much Brazilian in those days. But, from when they get to be this old, it's pretty hard to tell the difference sometimes between the species from what we think of today. So it's pretty good sounding guitar, X-braced. And what we would kind of today call a slope shoulder dreadnought. Many times Martin made that kind of similar body shape that was a 12 fret. These are 14 fret. Pretty similar.
This model is which one?
It's called a 5246. It's what Washburn called the Solo. And they only really made, to the best of my knowledge, this kind of slope shoulder dread configuration. This is the mahogany D18 version of the same guitar that I'm holding that Kenny has. So this, in Martin terms, this would be the D28, this would be the D18. But they, again, X-braced and really nice materials, pretty good sounding guitars. These were made in the Regal factory. Tonk Brothers, which was the distributor for Washburn and owned the name at that point, was really just a wholesale distributor. So they would go around the country and mostly in the Chicago area, and have other factories make the guitars for them and just put their Washburn brand name on it. And that's what they did here. So Tonk Brothers, Washburns, really from the 30s. And 37 was the year when they made these basically deep body dreadnought size slope shoulder 14 fret dreads. Before that, they were more OM style, and a little after that, 38, 39, they were more of the OM style that we might show you after a while. But for this style, and there seems to be many more of the rosewood ones out there. The really difficult to find. The 18 version, the so-called, this was a model 5244, came in this configuration only in 1 year. And the mahogany ones seem to be less popular. There's certainly not as many of these around. They're much harder to find.
Yeah, they're really hard to find now in any model. I think they just don't come up for sale very often.
Yeah.
And, I've loved these guitars since the first time I played them, and then the Fretboard Journal wanted me to do a video at Wintergrass one time, and that's how I met Mark. I asked Jason. I said, "Hey, he said, what do you want to do on the video?" I said, "I would love to play those Washburn guitars." And he said, "Well, I think I can make that happen." And that was what the video. If you go to their website, it's I think it's 3 from 37 is the title, and where I'm playing that on there. But I met Mark. Mark came over, and I got to talk to him about the just like we're doing now, and it was an education for me, and especially about the Regal made the Washburn, which is the Regals have the same body style. So
yeah, there's a number of guitars, same exact body style, that have the Regal label on them, both 12 and 14 fret. You might have seen Kenny play the 12 fret Regal, and he has a couple of those. They're really good sounding guitars, virtually identical body, bracing and that kind of thing, but in different configurations. So Regal was, like any company, just trying to sell units, and sometimes they'd make them and sell them as Washburns, and sometimes under another brand. In that case, they actually went to Gibson in '38 and had Gibson make a lot of the Washburn branded ones. So there's many of them that Kenny will probably have a segment on one of those Gibson made ones as well. So
one of the things that I found interesting, I think, what the price list on this one was, it was an expensive guitar.
Yeah, they were right up there with the 28s.
Yeah,
with the Martins, they were.
We're talking about what, 110?
I think something like that.
Yeah. So that was a lot of money, and like I say, equal to the Martin back at that time.
Yeah,
it was a deluxe guitar, but they sure sound good. And I'm gonna play a tune. I think maybe on this one or both of them here, and we'll demonstrate how they sound.
Okay.